We've now reached the final stretch of our work on arpeggios with the minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. As you know, the minor 7 flat 5 chord is the 2 chord of the harmonised natural minor scale, and also the 7 chord in major keys, although we're not actually using it in any of our major key chord progressions. So let's start with an example of a 2-5-1 chord progression in the open position. We'll move on to a new key of C minor, that's the relative minor key of E flat major, with a key signature of 3 flats, that's A flat, B flat and E flat. The 2-5-1 chord progression therefore will be D minor 7 flat 5, G7 and C minor 7. So we'll begin with the D minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. That starts on the open D string, string 4, the minor third, then at fret 3, and F, with flattened fifth of A flat, fret 1 string 3, the minor 7th of C, fret 1 string 2 with either the first finger again or the second finger, and the octave D at fret 3 string 2. The G7 arpeggio begins with the G at fret 3 string 6, and then replacing the B flat with a B natural, fret 2 string 5, to turn the minor 7th into a dominant 7th 5 chord, and then the 5th D on the open string 4, the minor 7th of F at fret 3 string 4, and the octave G on the open string 3. Moving into the upper octave, we have the major third of B at fret 4 or on the open string 2, the 5th of D, fret 3 string 2, the minor 7th, F, fret 1 string 1, and the top octave G, fret 3 string 1. And finally, the C minor 7 arpeggio begins with C, fret 3 string 5, the minor third of E flat, fret 1 string 4, the 5th on the open G string, the minor 7th of B flat at fret 3 string 3, and the octave C at fret 1 string 2. Putting these in sequence, with the D minor 7 flat 5. To get to the G, we can end the D minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio with finger 4, or as always we can begin the G7 arpeggio with finger 2. And then the C minor 7. The next D minor 7 flat 5 begins with the open G string, so there's no problem looping around the cycle. The arpeggios in the descending form. We now need to get back to the high D to repeat the cycle, so here again we can use finger 4 to return to the D. The arpeggios back and forth, the D minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio ends with finger 3 on the minor third, so again we can use finger 4 to allow us to begin the G7 arpeggio with finger 3, or we can begin the G7 arpeggio with finger 2. And now with the G7 arpeggio in the upper octave. And here we need finger 3 to get down to the C, so we end the G7 arpeggio with finger 4, or we start the C minor 7 arpeggio with finger 2. Or arpeggios descending. And here, as before, we need finger 4 to start the descending D minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio again, although you may find it possible to make this jump with a flip of the third finger, as we've discussed before. Finally, the arpeggios back and forth. And there you have it. So now let's take a look at a 6-2-5-1 progression in a new key. That's the key of G minor, the relative minor key of B flat major, key signature with 2 flats in it, B flat and E flat. Chords of the 6-2-5-1 chord progression are now E flat major 7 for the 6th chord, A minor 7 flat 5 for the 2 chord, D7 for the 5 chord, and G minor 7 tonic or 1 chord. Beginning the open position arpeggios with the E flat major 7. The E flat is here at fret 1 string 4, the major third of G on the open string 3, the 5th B flat at fret 3 string 3, the major 7th D at fret 3 string 2, and the octave E flat fret 4 string 2. We can avoid using the third finger for the 2 consecutive notes with finger 2. The A minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio begins with the open A string, string 5, then the minor third of C at fret 3, the flat 5th of E flat, fret 1 string 4, the minor 7th G on the open G string, and the octave A at fret 2. And this is where we can cheat a little to stretch a full 2nd octave out of the A arpeggios by reaching up to the 5th fret on string 1. So we start with our A at fret 2 string 3, then the minor third of C, fret 1 string 2, the flat 5th of E flat at fret 4 string 2, the minor 7th G at fret 3 string 1, and then stretch to fret 5 for the octave A. The D7 arpeggio begins with the open D string, string 4, and now an F sharp, forming the major third of the D dominant 7th chord, the 5th of A at fret 2 string 3, the minor 7th C, fret 1 string 2, and the octave D, fret 3 string 2. And finally the G minor 7 arpeggio, once again starting fret 3 string 6, the minor third B flat is now at fret 1 string 5, the 5th as always the open D string, string 4, the minor 7th F at fret 3 string 4, and the G on the open G string. In the upper octave, the minor third is now fret 3 string 3, the 5th fret 3 string 2, the minor 7th fret 1 string 1, and the octave G fret 3 string 1. And here, as ever, we can use fingers 3 and 4 to avoid consecutive notes of finger 3. Putting these in sequence, beginning with the A minor 7 flat 5 and the G minor 7 in the lower octave. Here's E flat major 7, A minor 7 flat 5, D7, and here's the usual situation where the G arpeggio can start with the second finger, or the D arpeggio can end with the fourth finger. The arpeggio is descending. Here's the E flat major 7, A minor 7 flat 5, D7, and G minor 7. With the arpeggios back and forth. And now we need finger 1 to restart the E flat major 7 arpeggio. But it's on the adjacent string, so the first finger could flip quite easily, or we could bring in finger 2. Now with the A minor 7 flat 5 and the G7 arpeggios in the upper octave. Arpeggios descending. And back and forth. Etc. And that's where I'm going to leave it for now. In the next video we'll conclude the arpeggio studies with a look at the transposable fingerings of the minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio.